I'm Guy Kestevan, the Testing Man, and I'm dressed as a Teletubby because this 7-mesh Chilco anorak is actually a brilliant overachiever when it comes to a pullover for the most horrible winter weather conditions. So typically for 7-mesh, this is a really nicely cut, really nicely detailed garment, you know, things like these sleeve darts, the overall finish, zip quality, how nicely the hood comes up. You've got little hem details keeping it snug there. It's just a great fit for me straight away. To just say this is a small, I'm 5'10", 180 centimetres, 70 kilos. And I've deliberately sort of sized down from medium because I like a snugger fit, didn't want a big billowy fit. But you're still getting really good length in the sleeves and the arms there, so there's no nasty drafts. And this hood really does add an extra element of nice weather protection. I mean, if you've never tried a hood, over your helmet, under your helmet, whatever, when you're riding, the extra warmth, oh, absolutely blissful. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked as per usual. And also, as well as the Chilco, they do a seat-on series as well, which is this is the vest, where you can see, nice snug fit, your classic 3 roadie style pockets, but also bonus zipped valuable pockets. In others, let's just take this off. Come on, you can't really bloody see, can you? Come on, Kestevan. Right. So there you go. That's the seat-on vest, and they actually do a jersey as well, and they do a hat with nice ear flaps for looking like a Canadian, which is where 7-mesh come from, and they do a neck scarfy cowl thing as well. But the thing that makes all of these garments genuinely stand out is this WTV 300 fabric, and that stands for wind thermal ventilation. Because while, you know, a sort of pile fleece-backed fabric isn't that unusual, the difference here is rather than having a separate face fabric like you get on something like Polartec Alpha or Buffaloes and something like that, this windproof, or at least highly windproof fabric face is actually part of the fabric, which means that not only, you know, is there any issues with it ripping or any separation, but that backer is actually breathing, wicking, however you want to go, basically dispersing your sweat onto the outer area really, really efficiently. So although it doesn't look that, you know, it doesn't look that shaggy, it kind of looks like an old Jiffy bag. If you've ever ripped one of those open in style, but it just works brilliantly. It wicks extremely well. Warmth to weight ratio is excellent. It dries quickly, and I mean, the bottom line is I've always found these warmer than expected. Even when it's absolutely siling down with rain or howling a gale, you get a little bit of weather through, but your warmth coming through the other way, and the way it manages your moisture coming off you, so your sweat basically, is absolutely outstanding. So if you're counting the degrees on the fingers of one hand, whether that's plus or minus, I mean, genuinely, I've ridden these jackets in snow, in horrible sleety conditions, everything else, and the ability to stay warm and cosy is absolutely remarkable. And I was thinking at one point, is it just a fleece thing? So I don't know if you saw it on Bike Perfect. I deliberately went for a ride in this rather beautiful wolf fleece, because obviously, you know, this is aesthetically a much nicer garment. But I can tell you, I pretty much snapped my nipples off in this, because the windproofing really, really brought home how much this jacket protects compared to a standard fleece, like a non-faced power grid or something similar fabric. Just the combination of that face fabric and the inner fleeciness just works brilliantly. And it's proved super robust as well. Haven't snagged it, haven't torn it. Even this big Teletubby belly pocket, which kind of looks, I thought this would be, it looks pretty vulnerable in a sort of stretchy lycra way, but I've had all sorts in my little marsupial wonderland here, you know, tools, various pointy things, all sorts. Hasn't snagged at all. Oh, you've got hem tightener there. And the other thing, doesn't even smell too bad. Because, you know, I'm riding most days, and if it's a jacket I really want to ride in, then I'm going to wear it most days. But it isn't actually going to get too offensive. I mean, so again, something like Polartec Alpha, I've had those literally take my snout off as I walk past them hanging up. I thought a badger had died in the workshop or something. But this never gets too out of hand. Though, obviously, you know, look after your garments nicely if you can. And obviously, don't use a fabric conditioner, kids. It really affects the wicking of any garment. But yeah, it's almost basically, it's kind of like all the best things of how well it dries and how, you know, how it seems to shrug off moisture and wind, but with those almost sort of merino-like properties of keeping you warm and not stinking afterwards. Comes in extra small to XXL. Like I say, you've got those other variants in the Ceton range as well. Also, the good news is not only are there block colour versions, so you don't have to have the Teletubber look of this contrasting belly panel, but the older colours are being sold off on the 7mesh website at the moment. So I think they're 119 quid rather than 170, which does seem a lot for what on the face of it just looks like a fleece, but pun intended, the face of it is what makes this jacket so brilliant. And this, I have to say, even at full price, is such a brilliant investment. And pretty much everyone else I know who's bought this jacket would say exactly the same. And, I should have picked this up earlier, the good news is, the next review I'm going to post is of this new spruce jacket, which again is WTV fabric, but it's WTV 200. So a lighter weight for those more intermediate conditions, so basically warmer days, but again, with an absolutely outstanding weather protection ability, which kind of has to be experienced to be genuinely believed. Oh, and while we're covering the full selection, I'll also be reviewing the Air Map Cash anorak, which a lot more expensive, a lot more high-tech, but unfortunately, quite disappointing on the bike in my experience. Oh, other thing, 7mesh, as usual, very, very eco-conscious company. So this is Ecotex 100% certified fabric, and it's a Blue Sign approved fabric and manufacturing process as well. I think it's something like 30, and there's quite a lot of recycled content in this fabric too. So it's ticking all the eco boxes, as well as keeping you ridiculously cozy and comfy, whatever the weather is throwing at you. What else do I say? You need to subscribe if you haven't already. You need to click for notifications. You need to give this a thumbs up like if you've enjoyed it. If you've really enjoyed it, indulge me on Patreon with a subscription. Buy me a cup of tea or a beer, and that means everyone else can watch for free, and you have a warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart, knowing that you've supported a creator to carry on rattling on about kit in front of a camera for you and many other folks. But for now, I've been Guy Kestevan on Guy Kest TV, telling you, if it's chilly out, get your Chilco out.